Hey you guys, this is going to be a final thoughts review on my Ulanzi SC-02 mount that I got a few months ago. I can't say anything bad about this mount. It did everything that I needed to do and more. So when I first got the mount, I was looking for a mount for my car because oftentimes I will pick up my camera, I'll mount it to my windshield and record while I'm driving. But the last mount that I bought, it was just too flimsy. It had a really long arm to it, but it bounced really bad and then it broke. So I was like, I need to replace it, but I don't want to get something very cheaply made again. So I end up finding this one, being able to use it for my car, my cell phone, my Canon M50, as well as my Sony ZV-1F in my car. And then I just decided to bring it in the house as I'm recording, like in the kitchen or around the house. And it works great to mount it on a window if you're trying to get a higher shot. It works good on my cabinet, again, if I'm trying to get a shot. This is replacing my tripod. I pick up my tripod far less than I used to. And one reason why I like the fact that this can replace my tripod is because I have a very busy 5-year-old and a very busy husky. And if they are chasing each other and my camera is on a tripod, they are gonna knock my camera down one day. I just feel like, one day they'll knock it down when I'm not paying any attention. Even if I have it sitting over in the corner and I'm not using it, it's just not the most safest place for your camera to be when you have, a child and a dog running through. So I love everything about it. I don't have one bad thing to say about this mount. If there was anything that I do wish, it was that I had a second one, because every time I get in the car, I gotta remember to take my mount. And when I get out of the car, I'm taking my mount. So I'm bringing it in and out of the house, when I am on the move. And I want to get one and just keep it in my car so I don't have to worry about it. But the footage ends up coming out pretty good. Like, my camera doesn't move or bounce or shake or anything like that. Now, of course, if you're driving and you're trying to record, you are going to see some bounciness because there are no two roads that are going to be the same. This is a stable option to be able to use. And there's not that many videos out there about what's a good mount to use in your car when you vlog on a camera. So my Canon M50 is pretty heavy too in comparison to the Sony ZV-1F, because typically I'm using the 11 to 22 millimeter lens on that camera, and it's heavier than the kit lens that comes with the Canon M50. So it holds up very well. And when I went out yesterday, I decided to put my camera upside down so that I can use my Movo mic with this big fluffy wind muff. I didn't know this, maybe I'm late to the party, but I thought that I wouldn't be able to see myself right side up if I'm looking in the viewfinder while I'm recording upside down. And then I was thinking, oh, I'm gonna have to figure out how to turn that around when I go to edit in iMovie. And when I put the footage in, it was already right side up. So I was like, that is bomb to know, because a lot of times I will take my microphone off of my Sony ZV-1F when I'm driving because I don't like the fact that it'll hit or it won't put it in the best position for this big microphone to be on top, even though I actually prefer my mount to be on my driver's side and a little bit lower when I'm driving, because it doesn't obstruct my view. It doesn't obstruct my view anyway, but it definitely doesn't obstruct my view if I have to look to the right of me, and it's low enough where I can still, see over it when I'm driving and it's on my driver's side. I prefer that angle better. It works for me, but I've been able to put it on my dashboard. If you've got a smooth, flat dashboard, you definitely can sit it right on top and be able to maneuver, your camera how you need it to be. But for me, I've got like a little dip on my dashboard where you can sit things up there, and it has ridges on it, so it won't lay flush to that part, but I can move it a little bit further down on my dashboard. If I wanted to get an angle that way, I could probably put it on the passenger window if I was trying to get a different angle, but it works for me where I have it situated. I don't often turn my camera around to face the road, but I think I have a small clip from the last video that I did how it looked to be able to get that kind of shot, but I'm going to include that in here so you guys can get a good idea of if something like this will work for you or not. I would say this is definitely for the content creator that is vlogging in the car though. I think that it is definitely the best that I've seen, because I thought that the last mount that I had was perfect, but it was nothing in comparison. It was way too flimsy and cheaply made. It had too much bounce to it, and it just was not what I needed it to be, and then it broke. So I didn't want to waste any more money getting something that was gonna be flimsy, so I was pleasantly surprised. This definitely has some weight to it, but yeah, it'll even hold my camera up if I just sit it on, my desk or on a table. It'll, without me suctioning it down to that surface, it'll still hold. So it's a very good mount, you guys. I purchased this with my own money. This is my own thoughts on this mount, and I would definitely buy it again. So if you have purchased this mount because of the video that you saw, or if this is finalizing your decision to go forward with it, I would love to hear your comments down below. So please come back to the video, tell me what you thought, or send me a link to your video. I will watch it and support your channel as well. But I really want to know what other people think, because there were not that many videos out there about this mount, and the ones that I did find and made my decision based on, they weren't speaking English, so I really couldn't understand what all they were saying. But I just relied on looking at the way that you put it onto your car, and I love that for me. But I've been able to put this on my fridge. I've been able to put it on my microwave. If you've got like one of those microwaves that are above your oven and you wanted to get a shot of you cooking, I've done that before. I have put it on my cabinets. I put it up on the cabinet when I was washing Caden's hair the other day, and it worked for me for every single thing that I needed it to work for. Plus, it was a safer option for me than having my phone or camera just sitting on a tripod out in the open for, my dog to run past and barrel through it. So I don't really have that issue with Caden, but Caden likes to be chased, so he's screaming, running, and loud, and Milo be right there with him, slipping and sliding across the floor. That's the last thing I wanted to happen with using a tripod. And I've not picked up my tripod much at all anymore. I mean, it still has its functionality because I'm using my tripod right now on my desk, but it's out of the way. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoy this mount if you do happen to purchase it. Again, I'm going to leave a link for this mount in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching. Be blessed.